Hey everyone, welcome out to another side-by-side interview. I am here with Sean Hill. He is the founder of Uphill Studios, and he's worked with some of the biggest names in the music industry, from Jamie Grace all the way to our very own worship pastors. And it is an honor to have you here on the podcast.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me.
This is gonna be good. So, what I wanted to talk with you about is, in what you do in the music industry, in the creative world, you ride a fine line. You ride a fine tension of influencing culture and being influenced by culture.
Right.
And I would love for you to talk to us about how you do that, how you create, but you don't allow what you're creating to look just like everything else in the world.
No, I love
so
that.
So kind of talk to us about that process a little bit.
No, I love that question and that topic because it's an interesting tension, because you do have to stay fresh, and your creativity has to stay pure, but you also have to know what's relevant, what's the culture's already accepting of. So
right.
it is a cool tension that you have to ride. But for me, as far as being an influencer of culture, there's a great example in the Bible, and this isn't just a Jesus juke because I think God should be first. It's actually, I think that God should be first in our creativity, and he's the ultimate source of creation. It's cool that the Bible starts off with, in the beginning God created. It's like, as a creative person, that's really cool. The first thing that God does is, like, he creates. And what we can pick up from that is that he didn't create from something else. He created something from nothing, which is mind-boggling as a creative, because as a human, we have a cap or a limit on our creativity. There's only so far we can go in creation. So we have to rely on God to help us be truly creative. And for me, what that looks like is legitimately just asking God into my creative process. God, help me be creative. Help me, just use some of the creativity that you use to create everything we see, from the universe down to the smallest grain of sand. It's mind-boggling what he did. So I invite him in, and that's, to me, how you keep that process a little more pure, a little more sacred, and again, not just because I'm a Christian and I should say God first, but seriously, creative people need to have God first in their creative aspirations.
That's good.
Yeah.
Now, something that you said that I want to kind of hone in on is, you still have to be aware of what culture's willing to accept.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of where they are.
Yeah.
So how do you, so walk us through, whether I'm in the music industry, or whether I'm a leader looking to start something, to create something, to launch something new. How do I put my pulse, how do I put my fingers on the pulse of what people are accepting, but also know that, but my thing is unique.
Right.
But my thing is fresh.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
Yeah, so I have a little bit of like a sliding scale that I like to think about. On the one side of the scale, it's like completely conservative ideas. These ideas have been adopted, they've been used, they've been accepted. You know they work. For example, there is a cloud, elevation worship. It's been adopted, it's been accepted, people like it. You wouldn't come out with another there is a cloud, because that would just be purely copy.
Right.
So on the other side of the scale is a truly progressive idea that hasn't been adopted, never really been thought of. It's probably 10 to 15 years in advance. And it's probably too far, the purely progressive idea. So for me, it's trying to find the spot in the scale where, when the idea actually grabs on to the public, it still seems fresh. It doesn't feel conservative. So for me, the idea can't be, let's start over here with a conservative idea, and then in 5 years when the idea takes off, it's not gonna fly. It's gonna be like, well, this seems old. This seems used. So it's trying to find that spot on the scale where it's progressive when you're working on it. It seems maybe even a little bit crazy, a little bit risky as you're doing it. But once it finally comes out to the public, and it can take a while, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, then it seems fresh, but not so far in the future that it's like, what is this guy? He's a robot from the future.
Right. What are we talking about?
Right. So that scale kind of helps me keep a pulse on, what are people going to be willing to accept when they hear it.
That's good. So I hear a lot of leaders that either have ideas that they're like, I don't even know what to do with this shit.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's writers that are like, I've just got this story, but
yeah,
there's nothing really out there. What you're saying is that God gives you these things to start birthing it now.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's for the future.
Absolutely.
That's good.
You hear these like song stories and stuff of popular songs. I've heard stories about How Great Is Our God was written 10 years before it was actually released to the public. I'm not sure if that's 100% true, but I have heard stories like that of other songs and other ideas, and it's like these things take a long time to actually come to fruition. So, if the idea seems crazy, that might be because it's from God, and it's truly progressive, because God, He stands outside of time. So when an idea seems crazy and it seems, God born, it's like, wow, this seems a little bit nuts, and I'm like, well, yeah, it probably is. But in 10 years, that idea makes total sense.
That's so good.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
So very few things seem as frustrating as the creative process.
Yeah.
Coming up with something, trying to find someone else to come alongside of you, and give it some form, give it some shape.
Yeah.
I've seen people just go through it, trying to birth an idea, trying to come up with a new business model, a new way to reach their leaders, just new.
Yeah.
New is hard.
It's very, very challenging. Yeah. To me, there's several keys, but one that really just has changed how I work is just collaboration. I know that works in music. I know that works in business.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I first started out trying to produce music, I thought, I can do all this myself. I can play all the instruments. I can control everything. But it was lacking something, and I didn't understand what that was until I started to get to the point where I involved other people. Gotcha. And then I realized, again, it goes back to that there's a cap on your creativity. Yeah. But now when you add other people into the mix, your cap rises because they are also bringing their creative ideas into the mix.
That's good.
So now, instead of my floor being right here where I can go, now it's like I added this guy and this guy. Now my cap is way higher because more brain power. I mean, it's, and there's obviously a limit to that. You can't just have, 1,000 people in on one thing.
Yeah.
But, strategic people that you trust and believe in, and you jive with their ideas, adding those people into the mix can really help ideas blossom, and I've seen it time and time again, from songwriting to music production to growing my business. It's the strategic people that I add in are super value added into the process.
That's good. So what you normally hear is if you've got an idea, it's gold, it's yours, protect it, hide it, bury it, don't let anyone see it.
Yeah.
But even the Bible tells us that's not
right.
That's not the right way. You're saying creativity is born out of collaboration.
Yeah, I think, and I always say this phrase: creativity is born in community.
That's good.
And to me, I mean, that's the key. The key to it. It's inviting the right people, not just anyone. Obviously, you don't want to throw your pearls to the swine.
Yeah.
But the people in your life that you could trust with an idea.
Yeah.
And it's about approaching those people and really getting that creative community vibe.
That's perfect, man.
Yeah.
Sean, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for doing this. It took us a while to get it,
right.
but we got it. Yeah. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for speaking to the leaders.
Yeah.
For everyone listening, hopefully something Sean has said, hopefully something the Holy Spirit has said through him helps you as you're leading his leaders.